My name is Vera Mtombeni. I'm a retired nurse practitioner.
And my name is Jonathan Mtombeni. I'm a retired pediatrician. We retired at the end of 2010. And at that time we decided to go to South Africa. And when we got to South Africa, we visited around and noticed that they had a serious problem. As you all know, HIV/AIDS has really devastated South Africa. We lived on a farm, and just about 11 kilometers away was a village, and we went to visit this village and came across a lady who was the volunteer social worker in the village. She told us about 100 families where there were orphans, and she told us that many of these orphans went to bed without any food. They went to bed hungry because they depended just on one meal that they got in the morning at school. When we heard this, we were very touched and decided we needed to do something. On a Thursday, my wife went and met some of these children, and we decided we couldn't waste any time. By Monday, we started a program of feeding these children, and we're feeding them out of pocket. We used personal funds to feed them.
We were doing dinners at that time.
We're feeding them after school. Yes. And we've been doing that for over a year now. We could see the change in the children's faces, their bodies, they started to grow. Then after a while, we noticed that the children were failing at school. And we reckoned that they were failing because they were not getting food in the morning before going to school. They went to school on an empty stomach. Then we decided to feed them for breakfast too. What did we feed them, by the way?
We fed them cereal, milk, and a sandwich, and sometimes we'd throw in a fruit.
That's right. The results were very impressive. The children did very well in school. Their scores improved. Some even hit up to 100% on their examination. We also noted that there were no role models in this community. The children really didn't have a future to look forward to. We'd ask the girls, what do you like to be when you grow up? And they'd give us this blank stare. What do you mean? You know, a girl is supposed to grow up and have babies. And the boys, they all wanted to become either a policeman or a soldier because that's all they have seen. So we decided to take them downtown, invited some professionals to talk to them. It just so happened that all three of the professionals I invited happened to be engineers. And so now when I ask the children what they'd like to be, all of them want to be engineers. So I'd like to expose them to other professions also, so that as they grow up, they have a choice in life. We call this program then Early Start, because we have a combination of problems in the village, but also in the country as a whole. Number one, we have the devastation of HIV/AIDS, coupled with poverty, coupled with drug abuse and alcohol abuse and crime. So we're hoping to intervene early so that we have a generation here that would be safe from HIV/AIDS, that will be able to lift itself out of poverty, that will not go into drug abuse and alcohol abuse, and will not get into a life of crime. Now, we decided to make this program self-sufficient. And what we have done was to ask ourselves as to what we had in our hands, and we decided we have 21 acres of land. Let us go ahead and till the land and see what we could get from the land to help us with the program. So we planted beans, and we harvested 18 bags of beans. So this will help us towards self-sufficiency. The children came to help us with the harvesting of the beans, and also the threshing of the beans, and the winnowing of the beans. They were so excited, I couldn't keep them away. I had to go and pick them up every afternoon or else I was in trouble. And so these children then are learning. They're learning that you go out there and you do things. You till the ground, you harvest, and before you can eat. So we're not just giving them fish, but we're also teaching them to fish. And we hope that these children will grow up. We're bringing up a new generation, a generation that is self-supporting, a generation that has personal pride, a generation that will not be affected by HIV, AIDS, poverty, drug abuse, and alcohol abuse. This program has now outgrown our capabilities. We hope that you will be touched enough to partner with us so that we can continue this work, not only in this village, but also to spread it to the townships of South Africa, where there's a lot of poverty, a lot of crime, and also a lot of HIV, AIDS. What you're doing today is a tremendous contribution to the future of a whole generation.
Also, you are more than welcome to come and visit to see the project for yourself.
Exactly. Actually, you know, when we left the United States, we thought that we were going to go into business in South Africa. Since we're retired, we're going to have some income on the side, some passive income. So we had built 2 extra houses, and we thought we were going to do business in them. But now we see why we built those houses. They're so that when you come, when you become a partner or a donor in the program and you'd like to come to South Africa to see the program for yourself, to get to meet these children, and also to see South Africa. You know, South Africa is famous for its animals and its vegetation. You'd be welcome to come and stay with us. You'll see the children and we'll take you around to see the beauties of this country. So we invite you to come over, and we know that you'll really enjoy your vacation with us.
Basizama